Hey friends, Steph from Talks Free Fox. So I wanted to come to you guys to talk to you about something super important, super important in the workout world. And that is dynamic stretching and the difference between dynamic stretching and static stretching. So growing up, I wanted to do any and every sport there was. I didn't want to limit myself. If it involved moving, I wanted to do it. And at 33, 2 kids later, things still really haven't changed. So it's just something that I have always had a passion for and love so much. And that's why I want to share it with you guys, because you should share your passions. So dynamic stretching is where you move through the stretch, okay? And then a static stretch is where you hold the stretch. And it's so important, so important before you do any type of workout that you do a dynamic form of stretching. And this will get your muscles all nice and warmed up and more flexible to do the harder work, okay? And then once you do the workout, then you can do your static holds, because you've already worked those muscles and stretched those muscles out to the point where you're not going to pull them or injure yourself or anything like that. Trust me, I've pulled so many muscles, growing up and through playing sports in high school and middle school and college. So I've learned from experience as well. One of the things that was such a bummer before I had kids, when I lived in Nashville for a while with my husband when we first got married, and I started training for a half marathon, the Music City Marathon. And I was so a half marathon is 13.1 miles, and I was up to 10 miles. So it had been a while of training, and I didn't know, that was kind of before my instructing days too, so I didn't know as much about the body and really, the proper way to do things and the proper way to train. So, this was like 10 years ago, which is really hard for me to say, but anyway. So long story short, I got to that 10 miles, the 10-mile training mark, and I woke up and couldn't really walk. I had pain in my hip flexor, and then it went down to my knee, and then it went down to my ankle. And I ended up having to not run for about a year. But that's when I found yoga though. And that's when kind of everything changed a little bit for me, because I learned so much more about my body. And then I got certified to instruct classes, and I learned even more, blah, blah, blah. The rest is history. So I actually recently, so last July, same type of thing happened. I wasn't training or anything like that, but I was doing my Tabatas and HIIT workouts and stuff. And I wasn't stretching enough. I wasn't stretching before my workouts, really. I was just kind of like, some I would, but I wasn't doing enough. I wasn't being consistent about it, kind of knowingly, but I was just like, I just got to get this done. I have so much to do, blah, 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 trying to fit it all in, right? Which is so silly, because stretching only takes 2 to 5 minutes tops. So, it's so important, so you don't injure yourself. So I just wanted to share those things with you, and just how important it is to stretch before you do your workout. And of course, stretch afterwards too is also extremely important as well, which I forget to do sometimes. I'm just like, okay, done my workout, like moving on, have to go or something. But really just taking that 2 to 5 minutes of time before and after your workout really will make such a difference, and will prevent injury. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Thanks.